Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Before we get into the brunt of today's video, I want to quickly talk about this car. Last time I showed it in any of the videos, the engine mount had broken. Since then, we have gotten it fixed. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to take it out soon or not, mainly because the next event I will be at is going to be on April 10th, and I'm hoping to bring the white MR2. So we'll see. And on that note, the point of today's video is really just putting the white MR2 back together. So I'm going to use the fenders that I have for it already. And the reason for that is things just haven't gone smooth with getting parts. In last week's video, when I was installing the driver's side mount, I got a package. It was supposed to be a driver's side and passenger side fender for the white MR2. Once I opened it up, it was actually just a single fender, which had been damaged because of poor packaging. I actually still have the package sitting right here in my garage. I'm not really sure what to do with it. And the reason for that is I contacted the seller and I told him, like, hey man, the fender arrived damaged because you guys didn't package it well, and I only got one fender when I was supposed to get two. He told me he would remedy the situation with a damaged fender and that there actually was a second fender on the way. Well, he never followed up with me and I never received a second fender. So I ended up going to my credit card company to file a dispute. It's a pretty open and shut case, so I feel comfortable in saying I'm gonna get my money back. But in the meantime, I wanna drive my car, and that's really one of the things. I wanna get it back out on the road to events. I won't be doing track days with it. I don't think it would hold up to full-on tracking, but I do think it would do fine at autocross and other like short sprint events where it's maybe on track for a couple minutes at a time. It's important I get the white MR2 put together today because this coming weekend, Jesus might go look at a couple Skylines, and so that means I wouldn't have any time to get the whole car put back together before the event that's going to happen April 10th. I got to go pick up a few things from the hardware store for the white MR2, and then we'll pick this back up once I'm over at the garage. Hey guys, we are at the garage, and I got the front bumper off the MR2 already. Right now, what we're going to start with is putting the fenders back on, and I'm kind of curious to see how that lines up with the hood, because the hood hinges are changed and the old ones were bent. The hood hinges made a huge difference. So there's always been a little bit of a bigger gap here on the driver's side. And if we come over here, there's actually a gap now. This used to be touching, and you could actually tell right here, the paint is peeled off, and that's because it used to rub right here. So again, switching out those hood hinges was the right call. Now, I'm kind of torn because I could adjust the hinges a little bit to get the hood centered. What I'd have to do is actually swap out bolts. Right here is one of the bolts for the hood hinges, and this is an OE one. And if you look at the shape here, that's actually meant to help center it. Earlier, I did go to the hardware store so I could get some of these bolts. And if you look at these ones, they're significantly different because they're flat there. So that means I could actually adjust the hood and it would stay, you know, or the hinges would stay where they're supposed to, versus this one, it would kind of self-center everything. I did think about just centering it right now, but then I just realized that literally, well, I don't actually have a time frame. As I look for parts, because I'm still going to try to get some fenders and a different hood for the car. Once I get those things, I'm still going to have to redo this all over again. So I think for the time being, I'm just going to leave it because it doesn't rub anymore. And also, I can finally open up the hood without having to push it over to the driver's side, because I used to have to push this that way towards the driver's side and undo the latch at the same time. Anyways, the hood being bent though is the reason why it still has this issue. The plan right now is to put the fenders on. As I mentioned, I took this bolt out to show you guys, so I had to take the fender off. This is just held in with some bolts. Technically there's one right here, but I snapped it and never fixed that, so I'll do that eventually. But yeah, there's bolts here, it's bolted in there. There's one right here as well. And then, oh yeah, there's two holes down here somewhere that I know I gotta get some screws in. And then of course, I believe right here, I hope it's right here, I think there's also some bolts there. Yeah, I don't necessarily remember how to put everything back together, but I'm sure it won't be too bad to figure it out. There's not much left to put this car back together besides putting on the front bumper. Of course, there's the cover. I have those things in the trunk of the car. And then there are the panels that go underneath here. Unfortunately, I won't put those on today, mainly because I don't know what they're technically called. There's a couple of these little clips here the bolt will screw into, and a couple of them broke. So I got to get a few more of those. And I just like to buy those types of things in like huge assortment packs on Amazon because, well, they're super cheap. That will pretty much be it. In the meantime, we will get the bumper put back on. And it's pretty straightforward. We put the bolts all along here. We got the push pins that go into here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And the front bumper is on. I mean, sort of. I do have to kind of tidy up a few things. If we come behind the bumper where the fender meets the bumper, there are some bolts here that are just kind of old and rusted, especially these ones right there. Here, let me get out of the way. There you go. These are the bolts that I'm talking about. They're super corroded. I really want to switch them out. So what I did is I just kind of put those hand tight. I took one of the bolts because I'm going to go down to the hardware store and get some new ones that aren't all rusted out. It's not going to hurt anything, and that's going to be a quick thing to throw the new ones on once I get them, and I'm not going to drive the car in the meantime. So pretty much the last two things we got to do, I got the cover for right here. There's no reason for me to come back in here anyways, and then I'll put the turn signals in right there. I am beyond excited right now. This is probably the first time in 2-3 months. Yeah, I think that's how long it's been since I took her apart. That's the car's been all together. Yeah, I don't know why, but I guess it's just me being my own worst critic. In my head, these were a lot worse. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, they're bad, but in my head, they were like the worst thing ever. But down the road, obviously, those will get changed. But yeah, no, I'm super excited. This car's pretty close to getting back out on the track. So as of right now, all that's left to do is get those little bolts put on. I did not record this, but I did get the radiator fully installed, so the system's bled out. It's good to go. I was going to do the fuel pump, but I decided to hold off on that mainly because I don't know where I'm going to go engine swap wise. I really want to do 2GR, but like I'm looking around for a transmission in the meantime because I know they're kind of hard to find. Well, it's hard to find. They're expensive, even though the used market, I know I can still get them new, but to pay $3,000, that's a lot of money, especially when I could literally go buy a wrecked car and get a K-swap. I don't really know which way I'm going to go. Pretty much my plan is just to keep an eye out for a turbo trans, and if I can get a good deal on one, that's the way I'm going to go. 2GRs, I'm not really worried. You can get those things anywhere. The biggest thing is the trans and axles. Any of you guys happen to come upon a really good deal for a turbo transmission for an MR2, definitely let me know. One of the other things I was looking into was I recently saw Alex Wilhelm's post about the front wheel drive transmissions that can be modified for the MR2 applications. That's something I'm also going to look into. So yeah, nothing set in stone. So that is all I got for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.